Family, what's good, y'all? So today I want to make a quick little video on just a little trade recap on exactly what I did last night, and how I made $800. So as you guys can see my screen here, we're gonna start from the top down because I wanna go into detail on what my thought process was and how everything turned out. So last night at around 2:30 or so, somewhere around there. This is the daily chart on the MNQ. Price was up here somewhere. Um, it just touched the consequent encouragement of this volume imbalance, and at this point, I'm thinking, hey, you know what? We displaced above this inverse right here, this inverse fair value gap. And in my head, I'm like, since we displaced, price is definitely going to come back down, and that would be the target for it. That was what my thought process was in that moment. So I marked out my charts. I was on here, and then I went down to the 1 minute. I was already looking at the MNQ, but I decided to go to the NQ because I wanted to see, it's the same thing, but I wanted to see exactly what was going on and if it was a low risk entry. At this point, I noticed that it was already 3 o'clock, right? It's the silver bullet for 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. In my head, I'm like, okay, this is the opportunity, but I need to see if things are going to work out. So we come around here, it's about 3:30 or 3:25, as you can see right there, and this displacement happens. So I mark this out. At this point in my head, I'm like, okay, this is definitely an opportunity for me to enter the market as a low risk buy or sell, low risk sell, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. So at this point, this next candle opens, it trades down. At the closure of this candle, I set a limit order here. I'll just mark it out for you guys, but I set a limit order at the top of this candle here, this bearish candle, and then I ended up getting in. Here the candle opened, it opened down here, and it traded immediately up. So as I was trading up, it filled my order, and then the next candle opened, it traded up again. Now keep in mind that I am going to be negative in equity here whenever I go into a trade, right? Because that's how you add to the trade. You don't want to add to the trade as it's going down. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to enter your play or whatever you're trying to do up here as it's going up. Reason being is because in the beginning you want to be negative. You want to add to your trade as it's going against you, not add to your trade as it's going with you. It doesn't make any sense. So at this point, once this candle hit up here, I was already down about $100. And I'm not gonna lie to you, my heart was pumping. I was cool though, right? I wasn't letting my emotions take over me. It was nothing like that. And then I seen this immediate drop. In my head, I'm like, damn, this is good. But wait, watch this. I didn't just enter a trade blindly, right? As I showed you on a daily, this right here was the target. This is exactly where it went. Now, I didn't stay in for the whole time. My thing is, I tried to get at least 40 handles. 40 handles on the NQ is $800. 40 handles on the MNQ, it's about $200-300 depending on how many contracts you have. But one contract of the NQ, where it's just one mini, is $800. At this point, I seen that we had relatively equal lows here, right? So as you can see, the line is here. We had relatively equal lows here. And then if I were to mark this out, either way, right, these are relatively equal. Yes, this one's above, but that's the only way this counts as the target. If this was the other way around, where this one was higher and this one was lower, meaning it was like this, that wouldn't be relatively equal, because now technically this would have taken out this low already. It already did its work in that part. So since it was the opposite, I'm like, you know what? Let's aim for a low threshold, easy target. And that's exactly what happened. And you know what? I was content with that. And as time went on, I can pull up the 1 minute here on this side. Okay, so let's go back to 3 a.m. on the micros. Let's go back a lot. Okay, right here. Okay, 3 a.m. on the micros. It's the same thing right here, right? You guys can see right here. It's the same exact thing. So, at this point, everything is going well. I hit my target. And as time went on, check this out, guys. As time went on, it hit exactly the target that I wanted to hit. Yes, I could have stayed in the trade, but since I only have one mini in there, there's no, there's no taking half and then letting the other half run. If I had two in there, it would have been a different story. But I was happy with my trade. This is my little trade recap. If you guys want to see a video on exactly the trades that I place and the time of the day, because my concept of things, my understanding of things have changed since the beginning. And I'm happy with that, right? I'm seeing that progress. I'm seeing that slow improvement. Building my mental. Everything is coming together. My understanding of the market is at a different level now. I'm not going to say I'm the best because I'm not, right? I'm not perfect. I lose money too, right? It is what it is. But me losing money isn't considered a loss if I follow my rules, right? If I follow my rules, it's always a win. I just consider it a learning lesson at this point. So if you guys want to see more content like this, let me know. Let me know down in the comment. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you share the video. Now, in the comments, let me know what you guys do to place a trade. Let me know what your thought process is. What do you look for? What is your concept? What is your strategy? How do you guys come into the market, and what is your game plan? What do you look for? What exactly are you trying to do? Remember, stay blessed, stay patient, and continue trading wisely. Until next time, peace.
Yeah. Overtime, 'cause I ain't have a mic. I was in that Chevy.